So good evening, everyone. Welcome. Thank God it's Friday. How are you? How's your end? Depending on where you are joining us from or getting to watch this recording, it may be morning, afternoon, or night, but we are all doing good here. I'm grateful to God for the gift of life. So if you're hearing me um, loud and clear, then that simply means it's go time. So again, my name is Solomon James, and let's get into the discourse for today. This will be our very second Zoom meeting ever on this particular project. So we'll call this Discover emGuarde. emGuarde is your environment harmonizer. So what is it all about? That's what we'll be sharing with us in the course of this meeting. So please fasten your seatbelt, put away distractions, and let's do this together. So again, like I said, my name is Solomon James. Now, I would like to begin with an intro for you to watch something, then I'll come back and I'll give you the details. Please take a listen.
With a few strokes of the keyboard, it allows us to communicate with people across the globe. With a push or touch of a button, it keeps us engaged and connected. The world now pushes for higher connectivity, faster serving, and downloading speeds. From 3G to 4G and now 5G. But what is also true is that with every apparent communication advancement, we are increasingly putting ourselves at imperceptible health risks. Our five senses cannot detect this form of wireless hazards, but our body can. With longer hours using wireless headphones during office meetings, every wireless device that our toddlers or children plays on, any types of microwave oven we use to bake our cakes in, or induction cookers that we use to cook our food. While this enhances our life, we are not realizing how we are exposing ourselves and our loved one with high levels of radiation.
Health Organization says there are some indications of an increased risk of glioma for those who reported the highest 10% of cumulative hours of cell phones.
The reality is there's a significant increase in glioblastomas. Unfortunately, they're very, very deadly.
I have listed peer-reviewed studies establishing the connection between non-thermal radiofrequency radiation from cell phones and brain cancer known as glioblastoma.
Most cell phones have a warning in them that say to hold the phone away from your body to avoid radio frequency exposure, but most of us don't know about this warning.
The WHO has classified EMF as possibly carcinogenic to humans, group 2B, a category used when a causal association is considered credible.
See, my friends, radiation can harm the body internally. Need to protect ourselves more than ever to adapt to the new wireless world. Start protecting your own bodies and those around you so we can all live a better and healthier life.
Yes, it's time to start protecting ourselves and those around us. Just like we had radiation can harm us internally, and with the advent and increase of internet connectivity, our everyday life, we are getting exposed to this. For many of us right now, you are watching this on your phone. You could be watching this from your iPad, from your laptop. So again, you are exposed to a lot of radiation. But before we get into that, let's just imagine, think back 30 years, 40 years, or depending on how old you are, you will discover that many years ago we had lesser exposure to this radiation, because I know we played more outdoor games. You might have what you call it from your own end or part of the world, but we had many outdoor where all the girls playing the 10-10, the consoles, the bottle cover games, and all kinds of things. But you see, the fact that we even got to interact with nature, with the sand, all of this also helped in building our immunities. But today you will agree with me that the syllabus is no longer the same. Even for many of us, we wouldn't want our children playing out. You tell them, junior, go inside, senior, go inside. And at the end of the day, this is what we are having. Now, beyond that, you also get to notice for many of us, even as couples, you get back home. For the rest of the evening, we rarely talk because the husband is on his device, the wife is on her device, the children are on their devices. So before you know, it's as if everybody is just isolated in a wall of their own. So everybody is emitting radiations from their end is becoming very, very addictive. And this is taking over our lives. It's not just taking over the time we should use to bond and integrate as a family, but it's taking away our health. This is why this is very important and why you should be paying attention. Now, we know we have different types of noise out there. Now, some of these can be picked up by our natural senses. We have water pollution, we have air pollution, we have noise pollution. But there's a particular pollution that it doesn't matter where you are in the world right now, it's with you. Now, for many of us, depending on where you are, maybe you live in Lagos and you say, okay, you know what, let me go to Banana Island. It's a very serene place. I will be guaranteeing you that radiation there is more higher. Interesting. You might say, okay, you know what, let me go to the Victoria Island zone. Trust me, you are actually in the capital of radiation, because the kind of sophisticated gadgets and all those things being used there are not the things you will see in your village or in the suburbs. What are we talking about here? We are talking about the increase of electromagnetic pollutions. Because whether you live in Banana Island, like I said, those places are prime places. Some people, they are using automation to open their door, their staircase, bringing light. I mean, I've watched videos and all those things, and you are seeing the increase of tech. But what's the danger of this also? Because everything right now is emitting radiation. So electromagnetic pollution is very unique because it doesn't necessarily impact our senses. We don't get to see it. Unlike other types of pollution, which we can see, we can feel, we can smell, we can get to hear it. But this is making it very hard to detect without using special equipment. So because people are not detecting this, they think we are safe. And this is the danger of the age. Now, why should you be paying attention to these things and what are the sources of this radiation? Your everyday phone. I mean, some persons are carrying 3, 4, 5 phones. Yeah, electromagnetic noise radiation is coming out from there. Your television. Remember I said, if you go to some places, the kind of gadgets they have is emitting so much. They have it like LED screen, wall to wall. Fanciful, but risky. You will be shocked what is coming out from your extension cords. I've had to test them. I couldn't believe what my eyes saw. Those of us with induction cookers, electric vehicles, well, may not be too popular in our parts of the world, but you get into those cars, panel on the floor, panel everywhere, emitting radiations. Your laptop, your iPad, your air conditions. Do you know your air condition is emitting a very dangerous level of radiation? Listen, some of these things will become scary, but that's why we're educating ourselves. Not for you to be scared, but for you to take proactive actions. You get into some houses, you see the chandelier everywhere. It looks so beautiful, but the radiations are also everywhere. Your microwave, your Wi-Fi router, and many of us, we sleep leaving our Wi-Fi on, and you find out you're waking up with headaches, you're waking up feeling fatigued, you're not well rested. There's a lot of radiation and pollution in your space. Now, what happens if you came out of your room, probably to come into your living room? I don't know where you're watching this from, probably your room, your bedroom, your living room, or your office space, wherever, and you started seeing visible lines across the room, just coming out from your TV, coming out from the radio, coming out from your air condition, coming out from the Wi-Fi, just coming out everywhere. How many of us will feel safe to sit there? I bet you will not. You will be running back in. What is this? Who brought? Why is this coming out? But do you know this is not a fiction? This is the reality of our time. This is the reality of the day. Because as you are watching this from your phone, from your laptop, and the other gadgets around you, this is emitting what you are seeing. And to make matters worse, even the International Agency for Research on Cancer, back in 2011, classified radio frequency electromagnetic fields as possibly carcinogenic to humans. That these frequencies are possibly carcinogenic based on an increased risk for glioma, which again, a malignant type of brain cancer. So it's very, 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 very important, because this condition is associated with wireless phone use. Wireless phone use. Now, there's a lot of things happening. Are you aware that France halted the iPhone 12 sales over radiation levels? Many of us were proud. I'm using iPhone 14, iPhone 15 Pro Max, iPhone 16 Pro Max. I'll just encourage you to please go down to your legal and regulatory, and you will be shocked with what you will see, because they exonerated themselves. It is stated there that you should reduce exposure to RF energy. They encourage you to use a hands-free option, such as the inbuilt speaker phone, that you should be receiving your phone on speaker. You should use headphones with wires and other similar accessories. They've ducked the bullet. But for some of us, sometimes you receive your call, you get tired, you lie down, you put the phone on your ear and hold it with your ear. Welcome. Well done. Bravo. This is why we are having this discourse tonight. While we have ionizing radiation and non-ionizing radiation, what you want to do to stay away from ionizing radiation. This is different from ionizing water. Okay, ionized water. Ionizing radiation, it's bad, because these things ranges from 50 hertz to as to even gamma rays. You know, sometimes you hear people advise not to go frequently into X-rays. A guy was with me yesterday, and who was showing concern because his wife is a radiologist, and all of that, and she's 8 months pregnant. He said she's been telling the child, you are in there running this race for people. I hope this thing will not impact the baby. You've got to stop. Now, there are things that are danger zones. There are those that are low, those that are safe. And that is what we are looking at, so that you stay within the frequency, okay, between 1 megahertz to 1 gigahertz. And you will see why you need to stay in these places or reduce your exposures to things that are of higher frequencies. Now, let's introduce you to emGuarde's latest patented technology called emGuarde, which is what we'll be using to address all these challenges. I was listening to lots of videos and things that they are frightening. I'll be sending some of them to our groups so that you get to see how bad things are happening around us. But again, like I said, because we don't see these things, we don't know their impact. But emGuarde has come to the fore to say, you know what, let's get this thing curbed. So welcome to emGuarde. That's what we call this Discover emGuarde. Now, this information already has taken place in a few places around the world. They've launched this in Malaysia. Actually, this technology is built out of Malaysia for energy. So the first country that they launched this was Malaysia. From Malaysia, it's been launched in Turkey. It's been launched in Germany, in Spain. So the European space are beginning to have access to this. It's been launched in Italy. It's been launched in the UK. It's been launched in Dubai. And now it's pre-launching in Nigeria, which is why we are having this Zoom, so that you and your loved ones will begin to take proactive steps in keeping yourself safe, because all this is trying to do is helping create harmonious spaces around the world. Now, how does emGuarde works? What emGuarde does, whether on your phone, your laptop, and all the other devices, emGuarde uses a technology to operate within a 4-meter radius. 4-meter radius. So a 4-meter radius simply means it's an 8-meter diameter. Okay, 4-meter radius minimal. Oh, you get to see more thing here. So what emGuarde does, it utilizes harmonic frequencies to effectively suppress targeted electromagnetic noise radiation between 3 megahertz to 1000 megahertz within a 4-meter radius or 8-meter diameter. Now, this harmonizing method achieves a balanced atmosphere while preserving the natural ambience frequency. emGuarde is not the military jammer. The military have what they call a jammer. If the chief of army staff was to come around your zone, they will jam off frequency, they knock off things so that the place is safe. If you was to talk over the radio, they will keep you out. A lot of network will be down, but this is not happening with your emGuarde. So please, emGuarde does not interfere with the quality of your internet, the quality of whatever your internet speed. It does not impact anything. What emGuarde does, basically, it suppresses. It does not take out radiation. There's still radiation, but within that space of the emGuarde operating, the targeted range of 4-meter radius, 8-meter diameter, it brings that radiation to zero. It brings that radiation to zero. Okay, so we've seen that, and you're going to see much more how it works. But why should this be of concern to you? Because according to the Federal Communication Commission in the US, based on the new FCC exposure limit, the human body absorbs ROF energy at some frequency more effectively than others. Now, the most restrictive limit occurs in a frequency range of between 30 megahertz to 300 megahertz, where the whole human body absorption of ROF energy is most efficient. So within the range of 30 to 300, the human body absorbs a lot. Okay, it's very efficient. So again, we have the article here. You can go read the whole of this, and you will see why that is the case. And they've done all of this. The study is out. The bulletin is there. And the interesting thing is that why the FCC says this, I say FCC says it's the absorption rate or range is between 30 to 300. Guess what? emGuarde is not operating between 30 and 300. emGuarde is harmonizing between 3 to 1,000. So in case it drops, it catches it. In case it goes higher, it catches it. So this is what is the beauty of what we are seeing here. Now, the human body, and if you go do your research on this, the different part of the body have its own frequency of absorption. For example, our brain frequency is between 72 to 90. It's absorbing these frequencies, which is why for some of us, you're having the headache, you're having all of that. The normal brain frequency is 72. The human body is 62 to 78. The heart frequency is 67 to 70. The liver frequency, the pancreas disease starts at 50. So there are different frequencies that the body begins to kick in once the frequency of this radiation gets into that range, which is why you've got to know this. Now, for children, because I remember right now on my phone, there is no game. Because back then, a child will come to you, the first thing, uncle, let me have your phone. What do you want to do? They want to play their games. And so you see children glued to their tabs, to their phones, and to their whatever device they can get, or even getting close seated in front of the TV. You know those days when you get close to the TV, they say, go back. But right now, look as if it's a norm. In fact, the TV is not in their, it's just in front of them. It's now in their faces. They lie down, they are putting their eyes on it. It's having a very huge impact. What I will allow you to do right now is to listen to Dr. Satvinder Singh and let him give you a reason why.
The children's brain, like the hypothalamus, it tends to absorb 1.5 to 2 times more electromagnetic fields than an adult. But if you look at the child's bone marrow, it absorbs an amazing 10 times more electromagnetic radiation than an adult. The brain is much more absorbent, the skull is thinner, and because the relative size is smaller, if I give you the same dosage, your smaller tissue is going to absorb more than the bigger tissue. The first thing you have to do is keep the appliance that's emitting the radiation further apart from you, like handphones, off all power points when they're not in use. Number 3, you could use electromagnetic field harmonizers, which will balance out the radiation side effects from the appliance.
Did you get to hear that? That the children's body absorbs 10 times more than that of an adult, because that's the frequency that their body absorbs more. So exposing our children to this, so you begin to see children have early deformities, the autism, ADD, and all of that. There's a whole lot of this tied to radiation. Now, let's even get to talk about the impact on male fertility, because research has also shown that this is impacting the fertility of men. It's impacting on their sperm count, their sperm mobility, their sperm morphology, the sperm viability, and the likes. So from your phone. And guess what? For men, where do we keep our phone the most? In our pocket. It's close to your reproductive zone, right? Cell phone towards wireless, laptops, where do you put it? On your lap. Your AM radio, your TV. So there's a whole lot of things impacting men. We've got to find a way to intentionally save ourselves from this unseen disaster and menace. Now, this a research work that was done and that was released back in 2019. 871 people were surveyed to find the impact of radiation on their health, their exposure to radiation. Now, 71% said it impacts their sleep, which is why for many of us, you find out that you sleep, you are not sleeping fine, you are not sleeping well with headaches and all of that. 64% said they feel fatigued. And listen, for many of us, you can attest to this. You just need to wake up between 6 a.m. in the morning and 8 o'clock in the morning. You've not gone out perhaps, but you're already getting fatigued. What happened? Within that time, you are still on your phone. You've been on your phone for over an hour, 1 hour, 30 minutes, and yet you are feeling tired. You've not even gone out. Concentration is becoming an issue today. Memory, learning problems, and you're wondering why children are not picking up. 60%, headaches, 52%. Ear, eye, sinus problem, they are there, dizziness, balance problem, body pain, heart problem, immune disorders. All of these are beginning to come in play. And here we are exposing ourselves to this every single day. It's important you listen and you find a way around this. So let's show you how this works. We'll be carrying out some form of demo and practice. Now, there's a device we'll be using. It's called the RD 9300. If you get this, it's very, very beautiful for those of us who want to show people how this thing works. What it does, it helps to measure the electromagnetic noise radiation density. And again, from 3 to 1,000, which is again covers the range of the emGuarde. So it has two settings, a setting to measure higher density and a setting to measure lower density. Interestingly, this will show you when emGuarde is on and your space is protected. So let's take a look at this and understand our radiation scanning range. Now, from 0 to 200 microwatts per centimeter power density square, it's very, very acceptable. 0 to 200 microwatt, it's very acceptable. Anything outside that, you are beginning to go, if it were what I would say acidic, 201 to 1,000, 1,000 to 1,500, then you begin to see danger with 1,500 and above. So the acceptable range is 0 to 200. Now, let's take a look
at the RD9300 radiation detector. It has two settings. The 1 dot setting measures low frequency 50 to 60 hertz. For the emGuarde demo, you want to be using the 2 dot setting, which measures high frequency of 3 megahertz, 1000 megahertz. When you turn on the RD, make sure to switch it to a 2 dot setting before you do your emGuarde demo. Let's take a look at the next clip.
Now in front of me, I have the regular devices that I use every single day. Now with the help of a special tool, we're able to find out exactly how much radiation is coming out of these devices. Now notice, anything above 200 is considered high levels of radiation. So let's turn it on. I'm going to put it next to the laptop, and as you can see, the reading is well above 200. These are for your laptops. Now I'm going to come over here to the tablets, which I use every single day. And here we have with me my phone. Let's take a look. Now just imagine the harm you could be doing to your body when you pick up the phone and you start talking on the phone while it's next to your ears. Now, knowing all this, you should definitely consider reducing the usage, especially among children. But let's be real. In the world that we live in today, it is almost impossible to live without these devices. Now, those of you like me who use wireless earpods regularly to speak on the phone or listen to music while you're having a jog,
You have to see this. Now, when I flip it open, it shows a reading on the detector. But the moment I put them onto my ears, let's check it out. Take a look at that. The reading coming off while it's being connected to my ears and to my phone is significantly higher. All right. Now, I know that some of you have already decided to reduce the usage of these devices. But let me show you something. Now, in an environment like this, looking peaceful and balanced, however, there are actually still fundamental radiation that lurks around.
Introducing emGuarde, a patented technology by Enagic. When turned on, emGuarde harmonizes targeted electromagnetic noise radiation within 1000 megahertz, creating a defense zone of 8 meters. Simply place it at a suitable area and plug it into a dedicated 5V 2 to 6A output power source.
Now with the emGuarde turned on, let's get back to using my earpods. All right, it's on. And let's take a look. It shows 0. Thanks very much. So when it shows 0 on the radiation detector, you are in the harmonized zone of emGuarde. It is as if you are turning your living environment into a sanctuary.
Beautifully captured. Now, something happened yesterday. I was at the Enagic office in Lagos for our Thursday meeting. Now, as always, I mean, you're in front of the room with the projector screen, and you get to speak. And sometimes I see people stand in front of the Blu-ray. Is it the ray coming out from the lens? I try as much as possible to stay away from it, because again, it's a ray, and ray again has radiation and all of that. But yesterday was very fundamental in driving home what we are talking about, because it made like got in, I got my my emGuarde, because I went with my emGuarde and I turned it on, and I turned on the detector. First of all, it was just beaming. The detector machine was just beaming everywhere. The numbers were as high as 3,000 plus. I said, is this what we've been standing in front of running our meetings every day? I lowered down to the floor. I mean, it's not just hitting the screen, it's hitting the entire space. I went behind the projector itself, up to the back, everywhere was still reading. And suddenly I came in, I turned on the emGuarde, and everything went to 0. Now, does that mean there is no radiation there? There is radiation in that space, but it cannot function as long as emGuarde is turned on. It brings it down to 0. That's how powerful this device is. So again, I encourage you to make sure you get your emGuarde, because all it's doing is harmonizing targeted high frequency electromagnetic noise radiation between 3 to 1,000. Now, do you remember the range with which it's very, very easy for the body to absorb? 30 to 300. And emGuarde is saying, no, let's go 3 to 1,000. And it's very, 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 very light. Just 430 grams. Just like a router. Very, very light. The power is very low also, 0.5. So if you have power bank, you can even use it, because there's no battery in the emGuarde. There's no battery. It's just plug in the cord and it begins to function. So you may need a power bank in case maybe you are walking into a mall, you are walking into somewhere. And I said this last week, Wednesday, I was somewhere in Ikeja by the BRT park just before the airport, Jara Mall. I got there and I was waiting for somebody who I wanted to introduce this to. And when the guy came in and we got talking, so went to his car to have a meeting. And immediately I brought out the detector, the alarm was just ringing off the hook. And I told him, I said, I'm very certain this is not your car. And we turned around and there were masks all over. And now we knew why that place was beaming with radiation. But hey, it's invisible. No other person knew about that. So people were feeling safe walking around, but with health challenges, heaviness, and other chronic things that might be building up. please, this is why you've got to get your emGuarde along with you wherever you go. Now, remember, all emGuarde does is covering an 8 meter of defense designed to reduce the negative effect of electromagnetic wave and ensuring that you have a safe and harmonious, not just environment, but in the words of Simon, sanctuary. Now you can turn your noisy environment into a calm sanctuary. Now, there was another test that was done and research by the University of in Malaysia, called the University of Science in Malaysia. What they did was to check out what's the coverage range of this emGuarde. By the company, it's stated for 4 meters, okay, radius, 8 meter diameter. So they took this, and this was just July last year, to go and run some tests and all of that. Now, what they found was mind-blowing, because they were checking for 1 meter, 2 meter, 3 meter, 4 meter, 5 meter, and even up to a 6 meter range. That is in radius. Well, when the results came out, they found out that even up to 6 meter, it was suppressing the radiation to 99.6%, up to a 6 meter. It simply means a 4 meter is giving you over 24 feet. So a 6 meter, we are talking about over 36 feet, about 36 feet. That's a huge coverage zone for you, okay? So this is something you can truly use. Now, just like I was just sharing the story of my friend that I met, we had a meeting last week Wednesday at the Jara Mall. Simon went to Hong Kong, and what he saw brought this to life. Take a look.
Guys, I am totally shocked. What I'm going to show in this video is going to blow some of your minds. My name is Simon. I'm here in Hong Kong. We just checked into our room here, okay, downtown Hong Kong. And when three of us, when we walked into this room, we felt a little bit dizziness, a little bit of weight on our chest, and we knew instantly there was something wrong with the room. And one of our colleagues whipped out this app on his phone, and this app, basically what it does is it can tell you, see, based on where I turn it, it will tell you all the cell towers that is around the area. So take a look at this. I'm going to start from here. You have Vodafone, you have all these kind of different cell towers everywhere. Look at that. Okay, I'm going to come over here. A lot of cell towers here, everywhere. Right, it's a concrete jungle. Take a look at this. Okay, so we decided to do some experiment of ourselves. So definitely the emGuarde we have our emGuarde with us everywhere we go, but it's not turned on now. I'm going to use the first tool that we have here, which is the RD9300. I want you to see this. I'm going to turn on the RD. In this room itself, it's showing about 0 of power density. So this room actually is fine. Okay. However, I'm going to go nearer to the window, and I'm going to go nearer to the cell tower. I want you guys to see the power density reading coming out onto my detector right now. It is 2,700, 2,900 microwatts of power density. And the cell tower is right there. You can see that 3 sticks is right there. It's about 50 meters away. And that's on this side of the room. So can you look at this? If I go back here, when the ring is away, it drops back down to 0, 200. And the moment I come to this side, where there's also a lot of cell towers, just look at that. I don't even have to go near the window. It's already at 2,600, 2,700. Unbelievable. This is Hong Kong. All right, take a look at that. Everywhere. Okay? Now, I have my colleague here, David. David, say hi to the camera. Hi. So now we're going to show you something that was unbelievable. We have not seen this in most of the places that we have done testing before. Yep. But we're seeing this here. So the emGuarde is still off. This is called the SDR software, and it's gonna actually detect the electromagnetic interference in this area. So what David is going to do now, he's going to actually turn on the software. You can download this software on your Android phone. You just have to pay a couple of dollars, you get the software. So I want you guys to see. Just zoom in on the phone, Ben. You can just take a look at this. I don't know if you guys can hear it. The software is connected to a dongle that connects to an antenna. And the antenna is receiving the interference around this room. It's unbelievable. Take a look at the chart. It is crazy. Absolutely crazy. We've not seen it anywhere else. Okay? So now what we want to find out is if we have the emGuarde
what can it do to us and what can it do for us? So it's not connected. Now, I'm going to put next to the SDR software. I'm going to turn it on. 3, 2, 1. Look at the wave spectrum. It's gone down. I'm going to unplug the emGuarde. Here, take a look at the suppression. Boom. With the emGuarde turned on. And let me turn on the detector. Take a look at that. Where it was showing 2,900, it's now showing 0. So then you can come near to the detector. I'm all the way at the window. It's showing 0. Now my emGuarde is turned on. So guys, this place and this technology is unbelievable. If you guys are watching this, I want you guys to bring your emGuarde everywhere you go, especially in cities like this, and make sure you always keep yourself protected. See you guys.
I don't know if there's something else you saw. In fact, just looking at this picture, you'll find out that there is a seat, there's a chair, and the chair is facing the direction where the high range of the radiation is coming in. So, and the person might sit there, you read a little bit, you are getting tired, you are getting fatigued, you are getting exhausted, and all of that coming down with headache, and you may not have even tied it to where you are even seated. Guys, like I said, because these things are invisible, people don't know the harm that is in the space. So let's talk about the benefits of emGuarde, because this is Dr. Marga Havas. She actually focuses, she's a Canadian researcher and a professor. She carrying out research and teaching in the areas of environmental and health effect of the electromagnetic pollution. Now, her work focuses on biological effect of electromagnetic radiations. And in fact, I have the video of this. I watched the video today, and it was very, very interesting. I mean, when you are seeing it live. So she checked herself in a clean EMRO environment where there is no radiation. Take a look. Her blood cells, everything seems to be moving fine. Then she sat in front of a computer for 70 minutes, and you can see the blood is stacking. They call this ruler formation. Now, this is 70 minutes with a laptop. This is 10 minutes with a phone. Look at it. Everything is jamming. Everything is jamming. 10 minutes with a phone. So what are the dangers here? What are the consequences? Poor circulation, low oxygen transportation, because you can see it's not flowing. Reduced waste removal, headache, fatigue, difficulty concentrating, numbness, tingling, cold extremities. Guys, you've got to watch this video and understand there could be danger lurking around as you play around with your phones and these other devices.
So
Now, what I wanted to do is to let's listen to another test that has been done, and you will see what we're just explaining in another format live.
So what we can do is you get on your phone for maybe close to about half an hour, holding it, and then we'll check again and see how does the capillary blood look like.
It looked like my first blood test result was clean, with no signs of blood clotting or blood clumps. But would just 30 minutes of cell phone usage really do any harm at all to my body? I hope not. Let's find out.
Let's have a look. So you can see all the cells now being stacked. See, all of them are, we cannot see those loose cells. You can see most of the cells now all stacked.
Bumped up together, right?
Exactly. Just look at that. The big message is always to try to reduce our exposure. It's almost impossible not to use, but try to be a bit more cautious in the usage.
The thing is, I know you say it's better to reduce. It's impossible for somebody like me, and I'm sure there's lots of people out there that also need to be holding their phones. So, is there anything I can do?
This is the device that can actually help harmonize your electromagnetic frequency wave. And you want to see how it works?
Sure.
Yeah.
With the environment harmonizer turned on beside me, Dr. Roland and I proceeded to do a third blood test. to see just how well this technology supposedly suppresses EMR. Right, so this looks completely different to the last test, doesn't it?
Yep. Clearly looks different, lesser rule of formation.
Okay, so you got to see that. Again, are we saying you should not hold your phone? You should, but that is the reason why for many of us, when we are done, you are feeling the numbness on your thumb, your nails, your fingers. You are feeling this tingling effect, numbness, and some of us look as if we are having arthritis on our hands. Please, you've got to use this emGuarde because it helps to improve the blood circulation, so you don't have this rouleau formation. Take a look, 20 minutes of mobile phone usage before emGuarde. Look at how it's stacking. Take a look, 20 minutes of mobile phone usage when emGuarde was turned on, it begins to be free. So this is very, very important. What are the key features of emGuarde as we bring this to a wrap? Number one, it's very easy to integrate. It can effortlessly be integrated into any space, home, office. You can travel with it. So it's very, very easy. Again, like we said, it covers 8 meters. 4 meters of radius, 8 meters in diameter, even though by test it can go as high as 6 meters in radius. Okay, so which is again you can be looking at 12 in diameter. It uses a Type-C, so again it's just a USB. You plug it in. One big device can cover a lot of areas. Some persons need more to cover different places. Those of us who live by mask, a telecom mask, please, you need this ASAP. If you live in a compound, the landlord or the owner of the property is collecting money from the telecom industry company, but they are putting your health and the health of your family at risk. Who is covering you? Now you've got to know where to live. And if you got to live in places like that, then you've got to get an emGuarde to cover you and all of that. So there is no maintenance cost on this because there's no battery replacement, nothing. It's just easy plug and play. So you can carry your emGuarde, you can apply it if you have a home office. Some of us, who you're a banker, I mean, I was talking to somebody yesterday who I know they run a very big church. So I said to the person, I said, do you know your studio needs this? Because you see those tech guys, those guys who are monitoring all the screen and everything, you see big screen and everything. That place is boiling with radiation. They need it. Your living room, because for many of us, your Wi-Fi is in your room like mine. My Wi-Fi is even just next to me. But hey, my emGuarde is turned on. So your work office, restaurant, your workroom, your bedroom, your car vehicle, because as advancement is coming up, vehicles are getting more gadgeted with radiation also. Your kids' room, because even when you tell them go and sleep, they are still under the duvet, still pressing their phone. Hey, get an emGuarde and get them covered. I think this does it. So with emGuarde, rather than say change your water, change your life, we say if you change your environment, basically you change your life, because that's what we see what emGuarde is doing. Now, how much is this? For the pre-launch price of this device is 2,365,000 naira for this emGuarde device. Please, this is not inclusive of the detector. This is 2,365,000. I'm happy for people buying it at this price, but I felt bad because I spent about 3.5 million naira to bring mine in from France. Okay, so if I knew it was going to be this cheap, I mean, within 3 weeks I would have saved another a million naira just not bringing it in. But again, it gave me the opportunity to experience it, so I could speak the way I do. So for 2,365,000, the first set arrived 3 days ago on Monday. Okay. Yeah, no, is it Monday? Yes, the first set arrived on Monday and they started selling it on Wednesday. And guess what? They only brought in 10. They only brought in 10. Out of that 10, we've locked down 3. So it is fastest fingers first, because I tried telling them, please don't push this out. I want members of my team to be able to secure this, because I want it in Jos, I want it in Kaduna, I want it in Abuja, I want it in Port Harcourt. I want us, because once you have it, this thing is not theory, it's practical. You walk up to any office, you walk up to any institute, you show them the radiation effect, you turn it on, everything goes zero. Listen, it's a game changer. It's a game changer. Okay, so for 2,365,000 naira, you can lock it in. I need to probably call them tomorrow morning to know how many is left. But please, if you're interested, reach back to whoever invited you or connect with me. Let's get your emGuarde ready. Now, so the company behind this, again, we said is emGuarde, and emGuarde is a global company with offices in 26 countries, 43 locations, which is why we're showing you all the different places they are already pre-launching all of this. emGuarde is a very solid company. What makes emGuarde different? The company has been around for 50 years. June this year will make the company 51 years. So again, they've been doing a lot of things, tested, proven since 1974. They make products that have been endorsed by thousands of medical professionals all around the world. They have a high ticket plus high quality product, medical grade Kangen water machines, brand new patented electromagnetic radiation protector, emGuarde, which again, the market is very on top. None of it exists anywhere. None of it. Yesterday, 2 guys came to see me, and in fact, funny enough, somebody had given them a pouch that they can put at the back of their phone. I put the immediately, nothing was, it was not stopping anything. It was not, they were shocked. I turned on the emGuarde, everything was 0. So I said to them, I said, okay, I gave you this patch and you are to use your phone, you don't have radiation, but I'm sitting next to you, I don't have the pouch. Does yours cover my own phone? He said, no, that simply means you are still going to be affected. But if I turn on my emGuarde, whether a million of you come into my space, it is 0. That's how powerful this is. So like we said, emGuarde is a very solid company, and it keeps building. Now, there is a business side to this, which I'll take another 10 minutes and just wrap up for this. Now, you can get the emGuarde as a customer, and as a customer, you can choose to refer friends to purchase a machine, which makes you a distributor. So you become like a distributor when you refer friends to experience this, because you come to your house, people come to your house, and you just, I mean, this is very practical. They get to see the effect. There's no joining fee. There's no annual renewal fee. There is no stock to keep the company stocks. If anybody wants, they pay their money, they get it. There's no monthly sales qualification. There is advancement in your commission scale based on the accumulative sales that has been made. And this is a very global business. Now, many people think it's a traditional networking structure. No, it's a direct sales model, because you come in right now, you buy a device, you buy a machine, you have an ID, you speak to your friends who get the same. That's what we call direct sales. Now, they reach out to their own circle of influence who buy this device. That's what we call indirect sales. When you add up your direct sales plus your indirect sales, now you have group sale. Now, how is this working? Remember, the price of the machine of this device, emGuarde, is 2,365,000 naira. In dollars, in the US, is $1,480. Now, every person, every ID can only buy a maximum of 5 units. 5 units is the maximum you can buy. Out of that 5, 1 will be a distributorship account. The other 4 will be a user account. So, I mean, you know what it means to buy something and be a distributor. The other one will not have distributor abilities, okay, because it's a user account. Now, there's no enroller system, not applicable. The SP protection for 90 days, it simply means you buy this, it still covers your account for the next 90 days for that account to be active. You're going to get more of this. There's no education bonus on this. 1 sale unit count from 1A to 5A simply means you can rank with this. For those of us who are existing member, you can rank. You can go from 1A to 5A, just selling only the emGuarde. Again, it's cheaper. But in the month in which you are to become a 6A, which I'll be talking about shortly, rather than it counting as 1 point, it begins to count as half a point. Half a point. Only in the month where you are about to become a 6A. There is no pass up. It follows the 8-point commission system. So it simply means, if you don't, maybe you don't have, then it will go to, if you don't have an emGuarde, it will go to somebody that have an emGuarde. No, it will still count for everybody in that line. All right, so let's look at the emGuarde commission chart quickly, how it works. Now, there are two account type here. Number 1 is a Kangen account. A Kangen account is a distributor who have purchased any of our other products, the Levelock machine, your SD501, K8, and other things. Even an Ukon gives you a Kangen account. Now, we have an emGuarde account. That is somebody that comes in and is only starting with Ukon or with emGuarde. So I want to buy an emGuarde and I buy an emGuarde. So there are 2 types of distributorship. Somebody bought a machine. somebody bought an emGuarde. Those are two distributorship commission you are going to be getting. For emGuarde, your commission per point, which I'll be showing you, is 130,808. 130,808. For somebody that bought an emGuarde, so you have a machine. If you sell an emGuarde, the commission they will give you per point is 130,808 naira. For somebody that bought and that came into the system with an emGuarde and now sells an emGuarde, the commission the person is going to earn is 101,733. I hope that is clear so that you know which one applies. But between the emGuarde account and the Kangen account, that's a 29% buffer. Okay, that's a 29% difference, so that you know. So somebody's coming in with maybe a 5 million naira for the machine, 6 million naira for the machine. Somebody's coming with 2-point-something million. They both can get the same thing. So just for fairness. Now, this is how it works. And so that please pay attention. The machine cost is 2 million plus. Again, remember, all those still covers shipping, duty, and all those things. Like I said, I spent 3.5 million naira getting it in. So again, for those of us getting for 2-point-something, it's extremely cheap. And even your commission is even still more, because my commission of what they paid was 115,000 naira, even with the euro exchanges and all of that. Now, Energic allocates a preset budget of 1,046,464 naira per sale of this device for the distributor. So about 1 million plus. They divide this 1,046,000 into 8 parts. If you divide 1,046,464 into 8, one part, 1A, will give you 130,808. That is how they got there. Now, this is for the people who have a Kangen account. Okay, this is for a Kangen account. I've already stated that. So let's take a look how it works. The first person who buys a device, let's say who buys a machine from you, is a machine, buy the emGuarde device, you earn 130,000 naira. So assuming you came in with a machine and the first thing you sold is emGuarde and you are selling only emGuarde, the first person you sell to, you earn 130,808. The second person you sell 130,808. So the first two persons makes you 1A. When you sell your third machine, your third direct machine, now you're earning 261,616 for just selling your third emGuarde. So you've sold 3 emGuarde machines, and again, when you consider that, you've made over 500,000 naira. When you sell your when you have a cumulative of 10 sales in your team, remember, cumulative is not your sale, it's everybody's sale in your tribe, in your team. When you have 10 sales of emGuarde, please, this is purely on emGuarde. I'm just simulating on emGuarde. With your next direct sale, once you have 10, you are a 3A rank. So rather than paying you 261,000, they are paying you 392,000 per emGuarde device being sold. You become a 4A when you have 20 group sales cumulatively, and now you are earning 523,232. And you become a 5A when you have 50 group sales. Again, not fresh 50 sales, continuation. There's no flushing ever. Once you're able to get a 5A, you earn 654,040 naira per sale of the emGuarde machine. And when you become a 6A, having, that's an error at the top. Is that an error? No, it's not an error. Okay, because that's even supposing that's your month of what is it called? Your month of 6A, okay? But otherwise, it could be less than that, all right? So you could be earning as high as 784,848 naira. So you start earning from 130,000 to 784,000 naira per sale of this device. For those of us that came in with the Kangen account. But again, you know, if you came in with the emGuarde and you're selling emGuarde, the values reduce accordingly, 101,733. Okay, so again, I've stated that, which again you are seeing emGuarde account what you get, Kangen account what you get. So let's do another rundown. In 3 minutes we'll be done. So I see Bola Joko here. I see Auntie Bola Joko here. So Bola Joko comes in and says, okay, you know what? let me, already I know she already has a machine, and says, let me get an emGuarde, because you can remember, you can still buy an emGuarde with your name, with your ID. Okay, so she talks to Tom. That's one. Tom is 1A, so that's 130,808. Bolajoko sells to Shade, second person, that's still 1A. Your first two persons are 1A, 130,808. Bolajoko sells to MM. MM is 2A. Your third sale of the device is 2A. That's assuming you've not even built any structure before. So that's 261,616. But Tom sees the benefit of this emGuarde and sells to Grace. Bolajoko will still earn 130,000 naira, 808 naira. She didn't make the sale. Grace sells another emGuarde to Pearl. Bolajoko will still collect 130,808. Pearl sells a device, emGuarde device to Ato. Bolajoko will still earn 130,000. This is leverage income. Bolajoko reaches out, sells to Eno. Eno will still be 2A, because for you to be 3A, you need a total of 10 machines. But this is 7 machines, so that's still 261,616. But what Bola did not consider is the fact that Eno knows a lot of people. Eno reaches out to Ali, shows them how this was going to help their organization, their computer institute. Ali buys. Why Eno is earning 130,806, Bolajoko is earning 261,616. Why? Because Eno is on a 2A leg. The same thing happens. Abu buys. Eno will earn 250,000. Bolajoko will earn. Eno will earn 130,000. Bolajoko will earn 261,616. Eno sells to the third person, becomes a 2A, earns 260. So that was supposed to be 1. I'll correct that. 261,616. But Bolajoko still earns the same amount. So what you are seeing here is leverage. Yes, Lady T, I very agree with you. The opportunity here is massive. After 10 sales, 3A, now it begins to open up for Bolajoko as 392,424. It simply means, and let me put it this way, for some, those of us probably you already have a machine, you're already on 3A, and you now buy this emGuarde under your 3A, that's what you are going to earn. You're not going to start from the 1A and start going. No, wherever A you place it, that's what it will count. So let's say, like for Talatu, okay, because I wanted to use that. Because you can, all of this you can keep earning. So for example, Talatu is on 4A right now. If you were to be a machine, she is on a 1 million. But if you were to buy if she were to buy this emGuarde today on her 4A leg, already she's earning 523,232,000 naira. Guys, can you see she's already getting back her money? It's already coming in. And if the person she sells to begins to build down that, her money is complete. So you go to 5A with 50 sales in your organization and you are earning 654,000. And remember, you go to 6A, then with over 100 group sales or 200 group sales, depending on the mixture, but this is just on emGuarde, you are earning over 784,848 naira. So this is very, very powerful. There is still your ranking is still there. You become a 6A, they still give you $3,000. You become 6A2, they give you $6,000. They give you become a 6A2-2. They give you $12,000. You become a -3. They give you $25,000 with $5,000 monthly. You become a -4. You give you $50,000 plus $10,000 monthly. You go to -500,000, $15,000 monthly. You go to -6, $200,000, $20,000 monthly. Everything I'm talking about here, I'm not even mentioning the machines. Okay, so even with this, you can do a whole lot of things. Now, let me say something here because I needed to get clarity on this. That was why, remember last week I said we're going to pause. I didn't talk about this reward model because I wanted to get the fact, the numbers, and the point system. Now, if you are going to start with an emGuarde, please be very aware, because again, I had to verify this over and over again. Just like you've seen, those with the Kengen machine are making the full commissions. Those with an emGuarde machine are getting a fraction. That's if you have the emGuarde, you are starting with an emGuarde. So what happened, because I don't know that Kufre is on this call. Kufre was the one that led me to asking and finding out about this question. So Kufres asked me, said, what happens if I have an emGuarde? I started with an emGuarde, then I sold the machine. Will I get the full stuff? So I thought about it. Somebody paid 5 million. You pay 2.5 of that. Then the two of you sell machine. Will the two of you get the same value? So when I reached out and they said no. If you are starting with an emGuarde, you are going to earn 77% of every other product you sell. Whether you are selling machine, you are selling Ukon, you are selling K8. So let's say machine is 250,000. Is 77% of that 250,000 that you'll be earning. K8 is 325,000 naira. 77% of that is what you are going to earn. Ukon, 77% of that is what you're going to earn. Is that for life? No. The very day you buy a machine under that your emGuarde account, they will upgrade that emGuarde to begin to earn full commission. Full commission. So I hope that is clear. If you have a machine, you have everything covered. Everything covered. If you are starting with an emGuarde, you'll be earning 77% of the commissions of everything until the day that account has a machine registered under it with the same name. Now that account will be upgraded and it becomes steady to be earning the full commissions. I hope this is clear. I just need to make sure that I don't leave anything hanging, no assumption. This is why we do what we do, and our team gets the information. Yesterday when I was speaking, Kofre is here. When I was speaking, one of the leader of the another team was there. He was like, it was even the machine. Kofre was there. It was even the machine stuff we're presenting, but it was like, please, I need this your slide. I need this your slide, and I was careful in even going into this because I did a lot of the demo. They didn't really see this, but when they saw all the demos on the emGuarde yesterday, their eyes are popping open, which is why I want us to take the market before they ever get into that market. And listen, yes, I might be selfish, but I'm selfish for my team. I want my team to win. I want to support you. I want to make sure you take every state. This is just coming in. Only 10 came into Nigeria. 7 is left. Take it, different states. I've told Steve, hold on, we're going to placing order for the next one. But first of all, get it, lock it, and let's begin to penetrate the space. Okay? If you're in Lagos, you need us to go places, I will go with mine. And we'll show them, we'll demonstrate it, we'll come back, and I'll be going to Port Harcourt with my emGuarde. So, guys, there's a lot of possibilities here. So, with emGuarde, basically what we say is welcome to Energy 2.0 because the machine is fantastic. Everybody might tell you I don't drink water. Everybody's with the phone. Everybody's with the device. Everybody's in the Wi-Fi space and all of that. Radiation is a silent killer. And now we can combine these two and create a massive wave tool with energy. If you're a guest on this call, I encourage you to get back to the person who invited you to come take a look on this. In case you came for the machine, this is a new product, which is why every Friday, and let me say this, every Friday we do emGuarde. Every Wednesday we'll do machine. So please get back to the person who invited you or who shared this link with you if you are watching the recording so that I can show you how to get started immediately with yours. Now we have a lot of resources. Where can I learn more? You may want to, again, reach out to the person who invited you, or you can screen grab or snap this or scan. If you have a scanner, scan this. Go to our Telegram group, you see a lot of resources. Go to emGuarde.com, you see a lot of resources. Go to our YouTube page, emGuarde Global, you'll see a lot of videos. And go to our emGuarde library, you see PowerPoint, you see lots of things coming out there. So please, you can screenshot this or reach out back to whoever invited you if they've already screenshotted this and grabbed it, and they'll send it to you so that you can have more information and we keep building our body of knowledge. So my name is Solomon James. I want to say thank you very much for according us your Friday evening. You could have been doing anything else, but you choose to spend it with us and we share knowledge together. Thank you very much. God bless you. If you do have any question, we will be taking your question at this moment while I stop the recording for our use after the meeting. Thank you very much and God bless you.